Hey everyone, another loss, and I certainly did say that the Premier League is irrelevant. Amorim said we will be taking risks with young players from the academy, and he certainly did that by giving Tyler Fredrickson his debut as a Manchester United first team player, but also his first senior debut, and he certainly did not disappoint. He had an excellent performance. Harry Amos got another start and certainly had and showed a good account of himself. Another excellent performance, similar to the one that he had against Leicester City. And of course, even though we did lose to Newcastle, I think Harry Amos did again have a good performance in that game. But we can't keep losing games in the Premier League. But there is a dilemma. We know the Europa League is the focus. We know that is where Amorim basically wants to keep the main players, the, shall I say, first choice players, the first 11 players, fit and ready and firing to go for when we have the game against Athletic Bilbao. I think it's going to be early May that we play that game because I think we have a bit of a week rest now before our next game in the Premier League. But that in itself is something that we can use as time on the training pitch, as Amorim keeps wanting to have and keeps mentioning, you know. But in the Premier League, you could use the games as trying to get players fit, with the likes of Luke Shaw, etc., that are still coming back from fitness. And of course, you can use it to give young players the opportunity, like Tyler Fredrickson had today, and of course, Harry Ms. Cheeto came on in the second half and did show and have good moments, in my opinion, but didn't do much more than what Hoyland didn't do. You know, Hoyland, again, he just doesn't find himself in the right areas. He certainly doesn't make the right runs, and when he does make those runs, it's few and far between. His hold up play we know is a problem and certainly is not one of his strongest assets. He had a moment where he basically had a very good turn, had half of the pitch to run into, and Mainu was open on the far side and he chose not to play him. You know, Again, another bad decision to be made. So questions are being asked of Hoyland. He needs a goal. Amorim said in his press conference after the game that Hoyland needs a goal, so he needs to be playing. I mean, he can't score if he doesn't play. That's obviously not rocket science. But I also think that Cheeto should be getting, a start in the next Premier League game. I thought he was going to be starting in this game against Wolves, especially because we're playing at Old Trafford. But Amarim thought, to give Wayland the start, to, obviously trust him and, give him that opportunity to find himself in a goal scoring area. There was a chance where we had, and we played some good football, and Garnacho played the ball into the box, and if he gambled earlier, if he decided to make a movement earlier, he taps it in at the far post. But again, he just reacts too late, and he makes the wrong decisions at times. And for me, it seems like he doesn't have and probably won't be having a United career for a long time to come. Because if his performances continue to be like this, then one, we'll have a problem in the Europa League trying to score goals without an out and out striker. Now, of course, I know Harry Maguire does what he did, but let's not have that as a first choice when it comes to trying to score goals. But maybe we should do that in the Europa League. Surprise Athletic Bilbao, it doesn't matter. It's just one of those games today where we find ourselves just not mentally ready to actually play this game the way we were supposed to. But look at the complete contrast. We were down 4-2, 5 minutes left, in extra time after 90 minutes, and we managed to find the energy and the determination to go on to win and score 3 goals in those 5 minutes. Absolutely crazy, magical, But then we find ourselves in the Premier League game, and that same energy is not there. We find ourselves being the better team. We were the better team against Wolves, but we just are not putting the chances away that we are creating, and we are creating chances, but we're not putting them away. But of course, continually, I continue to say the Premier League is not the focus. It's kind of irrelevant because even if we won against Wolves, it wouldn't mean anything. It wouldn't really be a bit of a positive, because winning is good, of course. There'll be momentum, there'll be a positive atmosphere, around the club and within the team, etc. But in terms of the table, the Premier League table, winning wouldn't have mattered that much. We probably would have stayed 14th the way we are. If we did move up the table, I'm not sure, we probably go up to 13th, 12th, which is probably the highest we can finish. And that in itself is depressing to talk about, knowing that we are this bad in the Premier League. But on the other hand, in context, we are in a Europa League semi-final, which definitely, I keep saying this, is the main focus. So it certainly was a game that we're going to forget about. But we'll talk about Tyler Fredrickson and Harry Amos being the shining lights. They were excellent today, and they are definitely and should and probably will be getting more game time in these Premier League games until the end of the season. Maybe in the Europa League, if Amorim finds himself brave enough to do so and give them the opportunities, because certainly Tyler Fredrickson was excellent today with his strength on the ball, the way he defends off the ball, very, very good by winning his duels in the air, very, very good on the ball as well. Very, very, shall I say, intelligent with the way he makes the passes that he does. So we certainly know that we have very, very good players in our academy that are coming through, the likes of Shia Lacey, Ibrahimov. We still have Jack Morehouse to get a debut, Jack and Tyler Fletcher together, James Scanlon, who is an international player already. So there are so much talent in our academy, and we need to just be patient, because they will be getting their opportunity if they certainly continue to show their talents to Amorim and the rest of the coaching staff. But we did lose, and we have to just take it on the chin and move on to the next game. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like. Thank you for watching, and of course, let me know in the comment section what you thought of the game and what you thought of Tyler Fredrickson and Harry Amos, of course, in this game. Have a wonderful day, and of course, enjoy the week until we see each other again soon. Bye-bye, Red Devils. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.